Okay, this is a 1 week update on my frozen Equigenera order. And we have guest kitty Pinto with me. I will tell you that these are not in great shape. And one of the ways I know that they're not in really good shape is that Pinto hasn't tried to eat any of these orchids. Not at all. There's been no Pinto eating. And if Pinto won't eat them, then you know that they're probably not alive, because he only eats my live orchids. He just leaves the dead ones. So this right here is the Dendrobium Stretioides, and Equigenera says that it's going to basically replace my entire order at this point. I don't know that anything is going to survive, but some of it's, you only get 5 days to lodge a complaint, and I'm thinking that even if I try to baby these along and see if anything survive, my experience from last year is that they might linger for a couple months, but they will all eventually die. I got some stuff from Sue, one of my orchid friends, and we think the plants got too cold. There was a bunch of Catalans that she sent me, and they looked okay when they arrived, but then basically over the summer they all died. They all died very slowly. I don't think anything survived there. All the new growths died, everything died. So there's some cold damage that happens that, you know, even if the plants were in great shape, which these look like they were before they were frozen, they eventually suffer and die. Pinto, your butt is really big. So, but I guess it's just hiding the dead leaves on the Stretioides. So on the Stretioides, like you can see the canes right here also froze. And so even though some of this up here still look, I mean, that's dying. And you can see there's like frost damage on the edges of these leaves. If the cane dies, then these tips will also die. Orchids are actually quite sturdy. You know, you can basically water a Phalaenopsis with ice for months and it will, like, you know, keep blooming and then eventually just die, right? So they can be very sturdy and hold on. This is my Dendrobium Antenatum. So it also has issues where the canes have frozen. See, like in there and right here, like see how that's divoted in. Hello, Pinto. See, look at him. See, he's not eaten any of my orchids. And so, you know, they are not in great shape. This right here is the Pleurothallus erythraeum. So all the leaves that it has left are like, that are green are like dry and leathery feeling. And then some of the ones that were probably alive and froze are just brown. So like this red one, you think might so, but it feels really dry and leathery. It doesn't feel like Pleurothallus leaves anymore. I don't know how to explain that. It just all feels really dry. I don't think anything is still alive here. I basically kept these around because I've written like a half dozen emails to Equigenera, and each time they keep insisting on more photos. They keep telling me that I should just wait a few days and maybe they'll improve, but they're not improving. But I really want to clear stuff out now. But yeah, I don't think there's anything alive in this one at all, despite the fact that some of this looks green. It's just this really dry feeling. And so it's almost, I want to say, it feels like it had freeze-dried Pleurothallus. So there. What do you think, Pinto? Is this alive or dead? Here, taste test. You want to eat any of it? He's thinking about it. I'll know which leaf is alive if he takes a bite. So there you have it. The cat says these are dead because he's not eating them. All right, over here we have, whoops, I'm sorry, Pinto, I stepped on your tail. This is the Dendrobium Chrysotoxin. You know, this stuff, whoop, there goes, that just came right off, dead. Here is the shriveling damage on the leaves. It does have some soft leaves that feel like they might still be alive. This is not sunlight. This is, I mean, it looks like you would think, oh, that's just spider. Nope, that's like freeze damage. These are suffering from the fact that down at the base of the canes, I think they also froze. So they're also in a slow state of death. And as you can tell from Pinto being right here, you can take a bite. It's not alive. I'm telling you, if Pinto won't eat them, they're not alive. Because I'll tell you, he loves chewing dendrobium leaves. He loves it. He loves it, loves it, loves it. And he has not eaten any of these. This is the Dendrobium Schweizerianum right here. And so let's see, this looks like it got bent, though I don't know if it matters because you can see the growing tip frosted this entire cane. So this is all stuff when I showed in my previous video, it had that dark wet look on it. And now you can just see the canes, like they all look burnt, and see how it's like shrivelly looking. It's all dead. And so, I mean, I don't know what's alive in this. So like, see, even this stuff where it looks like, oh, that might have lived, the tips of it are like shrivelly. So that's the Schweizerianum. This is my Dendrobium Chrysotoxin, which I was really hopeful like it was going to make it. And then this happened to all the new growths. So see how it shriveled like this? So basically the middle of all the new growths on the Chrysotoxin, see like here, all right, turning it around here, they all shriveled. So, hey, the ends are green, right? But the cane is dead. The cane is completely dead. See this? I mean, some of them dead. That cane is dead. But these two still have these little green tops. But then they have basically this floppy, shriveled middle. They're not going to live. You know, it's like when you behead someone, and the top, like when you cut like the flower off the like a rose, right? And then you put it in water, and it might survive for a little bit of a while, but eventually it dies because, hey, you've cut the top away from the roots. That's what's happening here. And then also on my Chrysotoxin, some of the bases, I'm not sure if it's going to make it. All right. Here we have, so we have frost damaged leaves, right? And I just don't know if any of the new growths have made it on this. Some of the bases on this are turning yellow now and starting to go. See, this is damaged right there. So like a lot of this is taking its sweet time. So this is my Proscethia Septra to die, but hey, it's just slowly turning yellow now. Now that I've taken the paper off my Proscethia Septra, you can see right here that there's rot setting in right at the base of the pseudobulbs, right there. So that's the center pseudobulb. So this whole plant is on its pathway to death, since the rot is right in the core of the plant from cold damage. The two, I want to say best looking ones, I mean, so this right here is my Proscethia Giardina, and when I first saw the damage, right, it was mostly green with this wet, and it's spreading, so it's going down this leaf. So there's basically See how there's rot now at the base? I don't know if it's going to spread to the pseudobulbs on it. If it'll just stop. But very slowly across this plant, which started looking pretty okay, and I've been basically monitoring the new growths on it. You can see down in there, more yellow is just basically showing up very slowly. So it's basically on the slow boat to death. But again, it seems like it would survive, right? I don't know. It's probably my most hopeful piece for survival. Because, you know, if you just had pieces like this where I had like some frost damage, you'd be like, yeah, I'd still pay, you know, $20 for that plant. But I don't know. I can't trust that it's alive. I would return these. They would pay for shipping because, you know, is it worth the time and effort to try to nurse these back to life after they've been frozen like this? Look at that. All right, so this over here is the Proscethia Septra, right? It has sort of blatant damage, and then I'm also watching the new growths on it. I'm hoping this is just the keratoids and not actually frost damage. It's hard to tell, but if it is, it's starting at the base, and then it'll just die. So on my Proscethia Septra, I just realized this pseudobulb is already all shriveling. Like, compare it to this one, and this one is shriveling. I don't remember there was any shriveled pseudobulbs when it came. And if you look down here, the base right here, see this? Right here? I have rot coming in from the base of the pseudobulbs, both here and here. So that's like, that froze and it's dying. And if you look at this pseudobulb, look, it's also all shriveled and it's soft. So I suppose if I want to spend the time to try to save this, I'm gonna have to try to cut this up before this rot spreads up the pseudobulb to here. Because originally when I showed this in my previous little video snippet, I hadn't realized that the rot really had already started. Maybe because it got moist. Because I was like, hey, I'll try to save it. But basically, yeah, it's rotting right here. So that's from cold damage. It weakened it, and now it's rotting. And then finally, this is the Laelia harpophylla. And this one is so deceptive looking. You think, oh no, it's still got bits. Because, hey, these leaves are still on. But just that leathery, wrinkly look to them. So the last time I had plants like Cattleya types with leaves that look like this, the whole plant eventually died. It doesn't just stop. It just slowly, you can't, because you have the papery sheets here, and the pseudobulbs can hold out so long, but basically the rot is down right here at the new nodes, right? And so basically what happens is that these leaves will hold on, these pseudobulbs will hold on for a while, but it'll never put out any new growths. So it's like, it's terminal, right? Whatever is here is all that will ever be here. And it's certainly, none of the sheaths are ever gonna bloom on this. So that's, I think all 10 plants that were frozen. And that's my update on how these are. And it's probably the last time that I'll do video on these because for certain, a bunch of them are gonna hit the compost after this.